Because of a single gentleman, there is both cause for hope and certainty that the agony and protest of those who suffer injustice shall give way to peace and human dignity. The children of the world, mark it, the children of the world shall know the great work of this extraordinary leader and his fervent mission to right wrong, to do justice, and to serve mankind. The enemies which imperil the future of generations to come, poverty, ignorance, disease. MC Kamal, give a soft interlude. I needed you to be seated, Generalissimo, sir, because I'll need your kind permission and blessing to begin this process, sir. God bless you, Babami. Please, a round of applause to the Supreme Military Commander of the Yoruba Nation. Thank you very much, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Today, the Oodua People's Congress, led by Iba Gani Abiodun Ige Adams. We are at the 26th edition for inviting me to come and be your anchor man for today's occasion. Ọmọ Yorùbá ni mí o. Ọmọ Yorùbá ni mí o. Okay, ọmọ Oodua le mí o. We apologize for starting a little. Speak to us. We have reactions from our special guests and from others as time permits. And then we'll have the vote of thanks. Closing remarks. And so without much ado, I want us to remember something very important as members of OPC. And that is our aims. Simply put, Oodua's People Congress, OPC, having said that, we will go straight to our opening prayer. And these shall be led by an eminent personality, a man of God and a man of his own people, Archbishop Kayode Williams, that is DG Prisons. Please, a round of applause to our Archbishop as he steps forward for the opening prayer.
I give all glory to God Almighty, the creator of the universe, for giving us this day, celebrating the 26th annual for the nation Nigeria, recognizing its Yoruba origin and source, to bring people together so that we can remain focused on the prosperity of this nation because of your greatness. For all that we participate today, no weapon fashioned against any of you shall prosper. Yeah. Divinely, I declare today, all over Nigeria and the world over, that Nigeria shall prosper. Yeah. Because of your unique presentation of God in a unique way, you will not be a failure. Yeah. Iba Gani Adams, we believe God will continue to give you the strength. Thank you, Jehovah Lord. Mo sọ pẹ̀lú àṣẹ torí ọmọ Yorùbá ni mí. Nínú bú ẹ̀jẹ̀ tó ṣàn lórí òkè Calvary, ẹnikẹ́ni nínú gbogbo àwa tá a wà níbí lénìí, wọn ò ní ṣá wa lọ́gbẹ́. Orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà ó máa dàgbàsókè sí. Gbogbo ìrànlọ́wọ́ tí Ìbà Gani Adams ń wá lọ́dọ̀ Olódùmarè, Ọlọ́run á ṣe fún ẹ láṣepé. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni kó rí. Ó di májẹ̀mú, kò ní ṣe é dà. Àṣẹ́gun ní orúkọ Jésù Kristi Olúwa wa. Hallelujah méje kó sán bí àrá.
Kàn sí. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ má bínú sí wa, program tó wà lọ́wọ́ wa yìí. Àwọn devil zero bí wọ́n máa ṣe ń pè ní printing world nìyẹn kọ̀ọ̀kan wà ń bẹ̀. So for the agenda of today, I'll be reading out to us. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ jẹ́ ká tẹ̀lé ara wa bẹ́ẹ̀. Thank you very much. Next, we want to go to the national anthem, and immediately after the national anthem, we shall have the Yoruba Unity Anthem. I'm sure DJ Kamal is set for us. Please, shall we all be on our feet as good citizens of this blessed country, Nigeria. Thank you.
Nigeria, we hail thee, our own dear native land. Those rams and tongue may differ, in brotherhood we stand. Nigerians all are proud to serve our sovereign motherland. Our flag shall be a symbol that truth and justice reign. In peace, oh, bow to honor, and this we count as gain. To hang on to our children, our banner without stain. O God of all creation, grant this our one request. Help us to build a nation.
Ọmọ Oodua ni mí o. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ mo fẹ́ káwọn tó wà ní Ìkẹjà under bridge máa gbọ́ wa. Ọmọ Oodua ni mí o.
Jẹ́ ìṣoríire, Èdùmàrè jẹ́ ìṣoríire, bíi ti MKO Abíọ́lá, Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò gbogbo Yorùbá, kò bá fọwọ́ ọlá ẹ̀ kàn mí lára kí n dolówó. Jẹ́ ìṣoríire, bàbá jẹ́ ìṣoríire, jẹ́ ìṣoríire, Èdùmàrè jẹ́ ìṣoríire, bíi ti MKO Abíọ́lá, Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò gbogbo Yorùbá, kò bá fọwọ́ ọlá ẹ̀ kàn mí lára kí n dolówó. Fọwọ́ ọlá rẹ̀ kàn mí lára o kí n dolówó. Kò bá fọwọ́ ọlá rẹ̀ kàn mí lára kí n.
We will need to recognize our special dignitaries here today. And we'll start with our guest speaker of today, a renowned professor since year 2018. He is Professor Oluwakemi Sunday Obayori. He is a professor of environmental microbiology from the Lagos State University. Please, Eban Patao Professor. Next, He is a tireless fighter whose trail-bearing bellies our inner strength and resilience of purpose. Permit me to introduce a symbol of International Incorporated. His Lordship, Christ Vessel of Grace Church. We also have with us Reverend Dr. Olumide Shoyola. Is a teacher at GGC. CCC, please. We have with us Chief Abiola Aremu, Olanrewaju Adeshino, Adeson, Emma Binu Daddy, Emma Binu Sir. Is you Adeson Oluwa Oloriwa is the formal SSA Commissioner to Communication. SSA Communication, please, to Governor Segun Mimiko. You're welcome, sir. Tọ̀wọ̀tọ̀wọ̀ la fẹ́ fi kí àwọn bàbá wa, àwọn aláìlúwà tó wà pẹ̀lú wa níbí báyìí. Permit me kí n yọ fìlà kúrò lórí. We have with us His Royal Majesty Oba Joseph Ikudaisi Olumade Okikiola, the Olu of Agbegishe Ifo, Ogun State. We have with us His Royal Majesty Oba Engineer Aremu Olaleye, the Ilufemiloye of Atiran, all the way from Kwara State. Kábíyèsí o, ẹjọ́ tá bá ti porúkọ àwọn kábíyèsí ẹjẹ́ ayọ́ba sí ẹjọ́. We have with us His Royal Majesty Oba Abdulateef Adewale Amodemaja, the Amodemaja. We have with us also the Are in Council, ably led by the General Secretary of OPC, is Chief Barrister Babajide Tanimowo Atoloye Are Ona Kakanfo of Yoruba land. Okay. We have Chief Barrister Yinka Oguntimehin. He is a National Publicity Secretary of OPC, Aṣojú Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò of Yoruba land. Ẹ bá ń pàtẹ́wọ́ fún wọn. Àwọn ọ̀gá wa nìyẹn o. Chief Dauda Asikolaye is the Administrative Secretary of OPC. Wale Man Akinlua Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò of Yoruba land. We have Prince Adedipe Ewenla Akinjagunla Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò of Yoruba land. We have the members of the National Executive Council of OPC. Thank you very much for coming. Members of the National Coordinating Council, we appreciate your presence too. And all members present here, we appreciate you, we recognize you. Thanks for coming. This is our day. June 12th will forever be a day to be remembered in Nigeria and worldwide. Thank you very much. I want to especially recognize the Chairman Planning Committee, my big brother, my leader, Ambassador Lion Comrade Olugbenga Onosanya, NLCF. Eko. Mr. Babs, we recognize your presence too. Thanks for coming out here. He is also a member of the Olokun Planning Committee, Olokun Festival Foundation. Thank you. Yes. All media personnel here, we appreciate you here. Gentlemen of the press, we appreciate you. DJ Kamal, thank you for always being there. Next, we want to have a welcome address by the Chairman Planning Committee. That is Ambassador Comrade Lion Olugbenga Onosanya. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ bá ń pàtẹ́wọ́ fún wọn.
Ọmọ Oòduà ni mí o. Ọmọ Oòduà ni mí. Ọmọ Oòduà ni mí. Má dalẹ̀ o. Mo ní ẹ má dalẹ̀ o. A dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run tó jẹ́ kí èní wáyé. Bí èṣù tí ẹ̀ ṣe gbógun pé àbí àṣìtáni gbógun pé kí èní má wà kéèní kó má wáyé. A dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run. We are here láti celebrate bàbá wa, the 14th Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò. Is celebrated by our own Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò, the 15th Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò. A devoted man to the core and a patriot who transcends ethnic and religious divides to unite Nigerians under the banner of hope. He made the ultimate sacrifice. He paid the highest price for democracy. Let us recommit ourselves to the ideal of peace, fairness, and national unity that Bashorun MKO Abiola, the 14th Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò, stood for. Once again, I welcome you all. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to pay your respect and celebrate the life of our dear leader, uncle, and the father of Nigeria democracy. Please sit down, be inspired, and let us honor his memory with dignity. Thank you, Oodua People's Congress, for organizing this remembrance event. And we thank the 15th Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò, the man behind the event, Iba Abiodun Ige Adams. We pray that God will continue to bless you, to give you.
Listen to our Field Marshal, the Supreme Military Commander, the Generalissimo Iba Lójú Ogun, the Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò of Yoruba race, the 15th Iba Gani Abiodun Ige Adams, to give us his remarks. Keep clapping till he gets here, please. Keep clapping, keep clapping. That is our Generalissimo. Keep clapping.
Please sit down. Your Royal Majesty, Ọba Joseph Okikiola Ikudaisi, the Olu of Agbejishe Kingdom. Your Royal Majesty, Ọba Engineer Isaremu Abosule in Ogun State. Eba mi ní kábíyèsí o. Our Amazon, Dr. Joe Oke Odumakin, the President of Human Rights, and the President of Oluyinka Odumakin Foundation. Our father, Bishop, is one of the people that trained me as an activist. Comrade Shino Lomirikan. Ẹ bá mi fún látẹ̀wọ́. Ẹ má wo statue o. Small body, big engine o. Our dear guest lecturers, àbí guest speakers. Torí àwọn alákọ̀wé wọn fẹ́ gbà pé ẹnìkan lecture àwọn ọmọ lẹ́yìn gbogbo CV tán ti gbà. It's one of the products. So kò sí bá a ṣe lè ga tó ibi tá a ti ń bọ̀ a gbọ́dọ̀ sọ o. Báwa ṣe ń sọ lẹ́yìn kan náà wọ́n máa sọ àwọn tí mo train wọ́n ti di èèyàn báyìí. Reverend Dr. Olumide Ṣóyọ̀ọ́lá òkìyàn wọ́n fi Donald sí ni ẹ̀yọ́kù ń bẹ̀. One of our reliable comrades is a special assistant to former governor of Ondo State, Governor Mimiko. Ó bá wọn ṣiṣẹ́ ńgbà. High Chief Olusegun Abiola Akinyo. High Chief Olusegun Abiola Akinyo. Ẹ̀ẹ́dọ́ba ẹ̀ láìpẹ́ láì jìnnà. Let me see. Kudus. Ṣé Kudus ṣe ẹni tó kọrúkọ ẹ̀ wá bí báyìí? Okay. Alhaji Kudus Abubakar, salam alaikum. You are welcome. Where's your people? The Hausa community in this hall, let me see you, please. Hausa communities. All leaders and members of Oodua People's Congress. And all members of Oodua Unity Groups. Akinyo. This is the 26th edition of June 12. And most of our demand through this program, God always answers our call. Through this program, when we are clamoring for Abiola to be recognized and given public holiday, we started the agitation from this hall. When you talk about state police, the governor will misuse that power. That was the same question Chanel was asking me from the interview. And I told them that Amotekun is being run for a period of 5 years now. The governor did not misuse Amotekun. Amotekun was just a semi-structure of state police. The only thing Parliament in the national level and state level have to do is just to legislate it, to give them the power to carry suffocated harm, and give them the power in the issue of state police. I was shocked. Some of our colleagues, as activists, was kicking against it. And there was one statement I made on that day. Dr. Joe Kiodumaki will bear me the witness. I said, if anything happens now, nobody will call you people. The pressure will be on Are. It's you people that was talking in this, so they won't call you. And look at what happened in Esinle, Orire, and Ogbomoso. Those people that was criticizing, if you don't have your life and property being protected, you can't talk about politics. The first thing, protection of life and property. After then, you will be talking of partisan issues. I'm sorry, me. Kọ́má kogun jà wá ń sọ̀rọ̀ òṣèlú. Òṣèlú á lọ, alájọbí ló máa kú. A wà mí báyìí nítorí pé security wà ń ta ni. Tí security ò bá sí ń ta, ìbọn ẹyọ kan tó bá yìn, bó bá tẹ̀ lágbára wà á kọ́kọ́ take guide kó tó confront ẹni tó níbọn. So I commend President of Federal Republic of Nigeria to quickly approve and sign the recommendation, not recommendation, the law from the National Assembly, and allow the governor to start the process of recruitment or upgrading the structure they have in their disposal to state police, so that our community, our state can be secure. Chanel was asking me, Why do you put security as a topic? I say that was what is raining now. That was what is happening now. That was what is affecting Nigeria of history. You don't know how the constitution of Nigeria is being run. It will say, killer Renshi. All the security architecture of state belong to state and federal government. You can't just intrude to it without the approval or the consent of the governors. You can handle the security of a street landlord association, streets. But when you are talking of a serious operation in the state, if you don't have good relationship with the governor, if the ṣùgbọ́n ẹni tí yóò wá máa tì tán máa kó máàmù gàrí lé lọ́wọ́ ọ̀nà wa Yorùbá máa láìgbọ́n yẹn ń tìyàn dé detention kan máa kí ẹ̀ wá ní pẹ̀lẹ́ Yorùbá wọ́n mọ̀ pé kíní yóò ṣe é ṣe o wọ́n á fẹ́ tì ẹ́ sí wàá rò pé àwọn tó ń tì ẹ́ sí yẹn wọ́n nífẹ̀ẹ́ ẹni but wọ́n fẹ́ kó há ni. Àwọn lọ́yà ló wà lórí ìjókòó yìí. Ẹ jẹ́ sọ ní Yorùbá. Ok. Ẹ bá mi wáyè fún àlejò wa tó ṣẹ̀dé. Fún ọláyè. Ibo ni ọ̀gbẹ́ni lódìdé yìí ó lọ wáyè fún o. Sugar Nifayemi said, you people will be in trouble. Àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ mẹ́ta ni Sugar Nifayemi sọ tí mo máa ń rántí dè nílé ni, ó dẹ̀ ṣe. Ó ṣe mọ́ wa lára, nǹkan mẹ́ta ni bàbá yẹn, ń bá dìwò pé, àǹjọ̀nú ló lọ. Nǹkan mẹ́ta ni bàbá yẹn sọ fún mi. Bàbá yẹn sọ̀rọ̀ yẹn tán kò pé oṣù mẹ́fà, we started witnessing that trouble. The trouble started. Àwọn ìyà tá ti jẹ síwájú òun ló ń guide wa báyìí. Ìwọ tó bá ti sọ pé kí là rẹ̀ ń ṣe, kí là rẹ̀ ń ṣe, màá ara àwọn tó rán kún wá tì wá rí o. Ìmí tó bá ti ń sọ jù, ajé a máa finú ṣépè fún toró mọ̀ pé tó bá ṣe wàhálà ni láì gbàṣẹ lọ́wọ́ governors. A dẹ̀ ti kọ lẹ́tà yẹn, mo ti kọ lẹ́tà sáwọn governors, ẹ jẹ́ à collaborate 7 of February 2024 ni mo kọ lẹ́tà yẹn. Mo dẹ̀ copy all traditional rulers, council of obas of every state. Wọ́n wá pe gbogbo ẹgbẹ́ tí mo dárúkọ sínú Southwest Security Stakeholder tó wà ń bẹ̀ yẹn. Wọ́n pè wọ́n. Wọ́n wá pe OPC. Wọ́n wá èmi tí mo kọ lẹ́tà wọ́n pè mí. Ìjẹ́gbọ́rú ẹ̀rí. Ẹ fi general lẹ̀ ẹ wá ń pè colonel. Ṣé strategy ti general mọ̀ òun ní colonel mọ̀? Èmi náà dẹ̀ ń wò wọ́n. Nígbà tó ń pè wọ́n state coordinator wa níṣẹ́ kó lọ wọ́n ní lọ tó bá lọ wọ́n máa sọ wá lẹ́nu o. Wọ́n ní ṣèbí wọ́n ló kọ lẹ́tà lọ. Ṣùgbọ́n tẹ́ bá ṣe tó bá yíwọ́ nǹkan tá a sè tí lè fi jó gbogbo ayé á gbé á rí. Torí èmi à ń sọ̀rọ̀. Mi ò gbàdúrà kó yíwọ́ o. Torí gbogbo àwọn ọmọ tó fẹ́ involve yẹn ọmọ wa ni but governor yẹn try. So let me read my speech because àwọn alágbára tó jù mí lọ ṣì máa sọ̀rọ̀. Let me read my speech. Our royal fathers, distinguished guests, members of Oodua People's Congress, OPC, other sisters organizations, the civil society group, members of the press, and other invited guests. I warmly welcome you all to this edition of June, believed to have won by Are Moshood Kashimawo Olawale Abiola, stand as a watershed moment in Nigeria. Stand as a watershed moment in Nigeria political history. It symbolized the people's aspiration for genuine democracy, justice, and national unity. The annulment of the election, widely regarded as the freest and fairest in Nigeria history, triggered a series of political upheavals and underscore the fragility of Nigerian democratic federalism, equality, and national unity. In fact, one of the cardinal programs of MKO was to organize a sovereign national conference with a view to restructure Nigeria if he became the president of Federal Republic of Nigeria. As a result, since the return of constitutional democracy, I have constantly re-echoed the demand for restructuring Nigerian political, and restructuring refer to the process of with restructuring state. We also, today, Nigeria faces essential security threats that challenge the very foundation of democracy and unity. These threats manifest in various forms, including insurgency, banditry, communal clashes, kidnapping, and political violence. The current disturbing security situation in the country undermines National 12. We are duty-bound to articulate a path forward for confronting these essential threats to our unity. Current security challenges. Nigerian security challenges are presently multifaceted and complex, from insurgency to terrorism, banditry, kidnapping, communal and ethnic conflict, political violence, and cybersecurity threats that list endlessly. Since insurgency and terrorism began through Boko Haram insurgencies in the Northeast, it has resulted in thousands of deaths, displacement of millions, and destruction. Kidnapping became rampant, creating a climate of fear and destruction, disrupting economic activities. Let the Ezeidigbo come. Àwọn olówó àbẹ̀. Okay. These twin threats, banditry and kidnapping for ransom, have now crept successfully into the southwest region through Kwara and Kogi State, and fear is palpably everywhere across Yoruba land as government remain confused, leading to boycott from foreign national and visa ban on Nigeria by some countries. It also causes economic disruption as insecurity hampers local and foreign investment, agriculture, trade, and overall economic growth. Nightlife in virtually all cities has disappeared. Hotel, club, and other recreation spots across the country denying government of income accruable from such ventures. It also causes social fragmentation as violence fuels expansionist agenda. Ethnic and religion division ultimately threaten the unity of Nigerian state. Decentralization. Good example of country running state and local government police about. State police and devolved regional policing is practiced in major federal nations around the world, including United States, Australia, India, Canada, Germany, the United Kingdom, and Brazil. In these countries, subnational state or provinces, provincial or regional policing use decentralized system where central and regional authority repetition lele. Okay. The United States operates a decentralized system where all 50 states maintain their own state police or highway patrol agency, which operates alongside local, city, and county police and federal agencies. In the United Kingdom, why not a federal system? Policing are operationally centralized, devolved geographically into 43 territorial police forces in England, Wales, Scotland Police, and the Police Service of Northern Ireland. On the other hand, countries that practice local government policing typically operate which I led, made up of about 14 security relevant groups across the region, and with the presence at the grassroots of every local government and state. The group comprises of Oodua People's Congress, OPC, Agbekoya Society, Vigilante Group of Nigeria, VGN, Professional Hunter Association, Oodua Warrior, Vigilante Yahoo, Agbekoya Peace Movement, Agbekoya Solidarity Movement, CONSAC, Ìṣọ̀kan Ilẹ̀ Oòduà, Ẹgbẹ́ Obìnrin Oòduà Àgbáyé, Ọmọ Oòduà. By working hand in hand with SSSG, along with additional 19 groups which participated in the Conference on Security in Yorubaland that was organized at 10 Degree Event Center in Lagos on December democracy. However, the essential threats posed by security challenge demand urgent collective action. It is imperative for all Nigeria, government, traditional institutions, civil society, citizens to unite in confronting this threat. By strengthening security framework and addressing underlying causes, Nigeria can overcome these challenges and safeguard its. By strengthening security framework, addressing underlying causes, Nigeria can overcome these challenges and safeguard democracy.
Thank you, DJ Kamal. DJ Camo. I believe that Are deserves a standing ovation for that wonderful welcome address. Mo nígbàgbọ́ pé ó yẹ ká dìde dúró ká pàtẹ́wọ́ fún ààrẹ fún address tí wọ́n fún wa yìí. In Nigeria that we need to tackle, that is security. Listen to his conclusion again, Ejo. Arrest said, June 12 remains a beacon of hope and a reminder of the sacrifices made for Nigeria's democracy. However, the existential threat that is posed by security challenges demand urgent and collective action. Ìjọba ò lè dá ṣe, and it is appropriate we appreciate them. First is Professor Ken Duru. He is a special advisor to President General Igbo speaking community in Lagos on security. Eban pàtẹ́wọ́ fún Prof. Ejo. Igbo Kwenu. Also, our own role model, a big brother to us, who is also a comrade in the struggle for the survival of Nigeria and Nigerians. He is a former chairman, CDHR in Lagos State, Committee for the Defense of Human Rights. He is currently the MD, Nigeria. Madaleo. We have a guest speaker for our occasion today. He is a professor of environmental microbiology at the Lagos State University, Lagos. He said he's a student, but I believe now that he is a master of social change, because Are has told us that you are one of his mentors. So please, Prof, don't tell us that you are a student knows of everything, but that it gives act its meaning as far as humans are concerned, even as it contends that man is not the reason for all man is not the reason for all the cosmos presents us. Before we bring him up, permit me to recognize a comrade, another comrade of great importance is Comrade Debo Adeniran. Comrade Debo Adeniran is the President, Committee for the Defense of Human Rights. Please, everyone, pardon fún Ejo. And so, for his speech,
I would first like to thank Iba, 15 minutes. The Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò of Yoruba land, Iba Ganiyu Adams, for all he has been doing for Yoruba land since the last more than 35 years. Ladies and gentlemen, please permit me to duly stand on existing protocol. I've just observed. Today we are gathered here to talk about June 12th on the one hand and the insecurity that pervades our land. Before I proceed, let me just try to correct the topic. The topic is June 12th in perspective. confronting the existential threat of insecurity, not security, of insecurity. Are has said that I'm protected, so I will just go straight and deliver my paper. But also to say that there will be some places I'm going to skip, because Are, just as I told him, has already delivered the paper. He has delivered the paper. I told him he did well, and he said he just tried to support. I said, no, it goes beyond support, because he knows what he's saying at any point in time, and he's a very current leader. So I will jump some places. I will also crave your indulgence. Election in the history of Nigeria. However, beyond the election itself, what makes you 12 tick was the fact that people resisted the annulment via popular protest, which culminated after several failed attempts in the protest of July 5 to 7, 1993, in which in Lagos alone, over 200 people were killed, and 2 million people on July 5, 1993, 2 million people were estimated to have come out in Lagos. But in 3 days, about 200 people were killed in Lagos. We saw it. People were being killed and thrown into trucks, and they disappeared. Thus, beyond the simplicity of fair election, of fair and free, you mentioned Rewani, you mentioned a whole lot of them, until Abacha died. And what we had hoped for in 1999 was that, you know, it would begin the building of not just a civil rule, but a democratic society, as it were. But today, we have seen how far off the mark these assumptions were from realities. What Nigerians have witnessed since 1999 can be summed up as socioeconomic uncertainties and the democratization. You must not get confused about this. Our people live under condition of socioeconomic uncertainties, and the democratic space is being constricted. This is very important. Of the Nigerian elite to address the national question as expressed first and foremost in control over our economy and winning of ourselves from the imperialist powers. We are still at the mercy of our colonial masters. That is just the truth. It doesn't matter how we arrive there, but that is the situation. But today is worse because of insecurity. The statistics are there, and I'm not going to go back, but the latest, let's look at some of this. 2014, April to May 2020, deceiving ourselves. Now, we need to understand what we mean by existential threat. Existential threat simply means that our very existence as a nation is being threatened by this problem. Our very existence as a people is being threatened by this problem. Our means of livelihood, the way we go about production and reproduction of life, is being threatened by this problem. But more importantly, and of course, the stage we are today, direct threat to territorial integrity of Nigeria. As it is today, the government of Nigeria does not have control over the territory of Nigeria. It's so porous. Anybody could walk across the border and collect your national ID card. It is that bad. Then the next thing, he carries RPG and start threatening you. And some other people will say that they are kings. This is very important. Having said all of that, it is important that we avoid illogical and rather metaphysical approach of failing to properly categorize the elements of insecurity, in which case we might that we do not control the media. Whenever people want to be mischievous or just want to be politically correct, you know, you want to say what people want to hear, they draw attention to the fact that there have always been violent crimes and that what we are witnessing today is just the same thing recurring in different forms. When we want to be serious, that's what we say. But again, that is not correct. If we bother at all to dissect it diligently, it will be clear to us that there are two broad categories. I think Are has spoken about this, and I'm not going. The greatest danger is from global terrorist movements, which we often fail to characterize correctly. I guess Are did not speak about this, so I'm going to elaborate. It's from the global terrorist movement, which we often fail to characterize correctly, partly due to weak insights and partly due to religious biases. West Africa as a whole is under threat from these groups. The ISWAP, for instance, did not mince its words. For them, the entire sub-region is just a province of the greater Islamic State. That is more serious than, the Janjaweed-style Islamic terrorism you have and banditry. There is a group that sees West Africa as its own, just a province of a larger caliphate. That is a very serious problem, which means that even if you are able to curb insecurity within, should these people take over Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso, they will levy war on you. This is very important. The picture becomes gloomier and more bizarre when we realize that Nigeria is the so-called giant of Africa. To the rest, we want to be all-inclusive. We must, as a dialectician, I identify all aspects and try to know which one is more important. We can't continue to live in denial. We must stop living in denial. Boko Haram and their offshoots target people who do not believe in their own Islamic sects, including Christians, moderate Muslims, animists, atheists like myself, traditionalists, many people here are traditionalists, and others. They want to Islamize Nigeria by force. They want to Islamize Nigeria by force. It's true. Of course, they do not believe there are true Muslims outside their own sects. They do not believe. If you call yourself a Muslim, to them you are not a Muslim. You are not a Muslim. No matter what you do to satisfy them, to bring them in, you are not. It is dishonest debating whether the terrorism in Nigeria is largely religiously and at times ethnically motivated. By the declaration of some groups, it is by their declaration. Somebody has declared that there is only one religion in the world. If you are not of that religion, he has been instructed to kill you. And you are saying your problem and the problem of that person, that your problems are the same thing. That is delusional. That is what? Delusional. It's not correct. It's not correct. Our philosophy must be people-centered and directed at actively ending suffering. The whole idea in our heads must be such that we look at what we can do to help our people. And we avoid, just putting everything in the hands of God, the way some people have done. Those who ordinarily who have fought and mobilized our people in this battle have said that we should put everything in the hands of God. But when, they were using their brain to calculate how to increase their flock and make more money, they did not ask God. They called accountants. They called economists, right? They said we should put it in the hands of God. We may choose to accept that whatever is happening to us is preordained, and we pan out whichever way, with or without our conscious efforts, to end its past failures. Ajebi, Adishashishe, but let us then to go through the process of suffering, believing that we have sinned and are awakening to moral rebirth and penitence will strengthen us and prepare us for God's, mercy. 40 days, 50 days. We are deceiving ourselves. We cannot. Please, you bear with me. Right? My topic is perspective. not the facts, and not the history. It is very important. It's very important. And then somebody says that you cannot own a gun. Okusowe. You have it, use it. Some people have done it in the past. It was tough for them, sentenced to death, but the world, backed them. And at least we have one example in Nigeria who is now a free man because of pressure. That's at individual level. So you must be ready for this fight. Lastly, and more importantly, the last option, that is of seeing this as a dialectical outcome of our history of production long. That is, the very structure of society has to be disrupted in order to put an end to this nonsense through collective, popular, and national action. So we cannot afford to resign. We have to work collectively. And for me, that I think is the most correct perspective. The most correct way to look at this is to take action. Whatever action that have been prescribed, we should take. Now, let's look at the immediate causes. Because I said Are has spoken, I won't go into detail. I learned that I read that some soldiers were ambushed. And the people that ambushed them, I think it was in Kaduna, they were actually repentant bandits. Then there is the elite greed. But let me take the socioeconomic collapse. We can't run away from some things. This is my idea. I'm sharing it with you. It's not Oodua self-determination idea. But I will share it with you. Very important. There is socioeconomic collapse in Nigeria. And it is exemplified by grinding poverty, youth unemployment, unequal access, and exclusion. Worse than now. Rather than transforming the condition of existence of the masses, the economic policies of the Tinubu regime has reproduced inequality, intensified contradiction between the haves and have-not, and entrenched the country's subordinate position in the global capitalist system. It is nothing more than a consolidation of elite power through austerity measures that shift the burden of economic crisis to the masses, while preserving structures of comprador capital and capitalist accumulation. Why is it that as we remove subsidy, we are taking more and more loans? We are taking more and more loans. So we are more dependent on these foreign powers. Policies that see development as directly being the product of foreign investment, that sees that we cannot advance on our own without taking loans, which we can account for, cannot work. Elite greed. There's elite greed. And that is also important, equally as important, as the socioeconomic collapse, fueled by bad governance. Elite greed. Illegal mining and back market trade in precious metals and drugs. Generals, retail brokers from Abuja, they are the ones doing it. Taba Beronwi, Kaberonwi. So, insecurity is trying to chase me away. It's trying to chase me. I'm only on a lighter note. Now, insecurity is rooted in inequality and misdeed of ages. So it cannot be addressed in isolation. I've mentioned some of the, things that we have to do generally. So what ideally, and this is important, what ideally should be the federation units of Nigeria? Because we are trying to solve the problem of, security, policing. But I ask you, let's ask ourselves, we are trying to solve the problem of policing. I've been giving another 2 minutes. And you're learning what's your perspective now? I'm learning what's your perspective. Now, we are trying to solve the problem of insecurity. And we say there must be state police. I wrote this before they came up with the idea of state police. And, I have recommended state police, which has been done. So we are not talking about that again. But let's look at all the states you have created in Nigeria. Apart from 1963, 1967, 1975, 1987, 1991, 1996, States were created by the military by fiat. States were created by the military by fiat. Somebody gave, capital to his wife in Nigeria. We cannot run away from finance, address structural drivers of insecurity and all that. I'm not really very comfortable when I'm being asked to abridge what I have to say, especially when I've tried to build it up to show that we have tried, we have worked, but there are some hidden things that we need to know that we have not addressed. By the time you pick up this, you'll be reading some of those things. Now, over and above all the people of Nigeria must wake up to defend the ideals of June 12th. We must see it as part of our social responsibility. Or else, the whole struggle and sacrifices of yesteryears will have been in vain. The people must wake up to the realization of security threats. There is security threat. People cannot demonstrate, but when they want to demonstrate, their own people can go and demonstrate. When they want to, their own faction of nuns to go and do something for them, those one can do it. They can go to Eagle Square, right? But when we want to demand our rights, people will say, oh, there is security threat. Area boys will take it over. Oh, you are confined to one corner of Lagos State. You are confined. You have no right to do that. We want that right through June 12th. Bowumi, ma forí dólẹ̀, ma kẹ́sẹ̀ sókè, ma ní mo ń protest níwájú ilé governor. Bí mo ṣe fẹ́ protest nìyẹn. Bówù yá mi, á gbé ìbejì tó wà láyà ìsíta, á lóun protest. Bó ṣe fẹ́ protest nìyẹn. It's not within the power of, right? But Yoruba people also face, especially, existential threats. There is no place in in Igbo land, somebody can come out to say they must establish Sharia. In Yoruba, people are saying you must establish Sharia, and people are defending it. And you think you are not endangered. And Yomoyami, let's face the fact too. What is happening in Yoruba land today is a sad recast of the events of the 19th century that led to the collapse of old Oyo, overrunning of the Oyo country, and permanent loss of Ilorin. The history, I will not regale you with, but one of terrorists is where old Oyo was. Question, are Yoruba people going to run as they did 200 years ago? They are already running. Communities have been deserted in Kwara. Communities have been deserted in Kogi. Right? Communities have been deserted in Oyo. Yoruba people are running. That is the truth. We are running. Are we going to continue to run? Let's face this fact too. And first, Yoruba before becoming Nigeria. The history of Yoruba in Nigeria has largely been that of betrayal and regret. Yes, I've been asked to Yoruba, go and answer some questions. The anecdotal plating of other ethnic groups in their power game. I've outlined everything that we have to do, but I will only mention two. Lastly, they are there. Let me mention these two. We must insist on the right of ethnic minorities, wherever they may be, to internal self-determination and possible affirmative action. We must. The right of ethnic minorities to internal self-determination. We must demand for that. It's very important. Quite apart from all our friends here, we have been. So none of those ethnic groups represent our enemy. Then secondly, fún àwọn ọmọ wa, extrajudicial killings in the name of defending Yoruba land, we further dehumanize us and demonize our struggle. Àti Mausa, àti Mufulani, olè ní, without verifying anything, mú fọlọ́pàá, ẹni kan lọ yanjú ẹ̀, nítorí nǹkan tá à ń wá káàkiri tí ó sọnù. Àtàgẹ̀tì èèyàn, kìíní kan ní, àní kan lọ yanjú ẹ̀. We must avoid those two things. The ethnic groups are not our enemies. Then two, we should
continue to spark, because he has a passion to spark. You know, when somebody speaks and speaks and speaks, especially eloquently, our company is sparking. But that is a passion, and that is what we need in Nigeria. God help us. He has said few very important things. First amongst them is we need to confront the truth of our past historical failures. We must run from self-deception. We need to stand up in the face of injustice. We should be ready for the fight. Objective of great repute. Permit me to call to the top table or to the microphone, please, Dr. Joe Odumake.
And I keep saying it that I can go to the battle with him with my eyes closed. Please, can we all give the Are a locomotive round of applause? Kábíyèsí o, kádé pẹ́ lórí kí bàtà pẹ́ lẹ́sẹ̀. Eze ndị Igbo, nnekene yo. Veterans of many progressive battles. A lot of comrades are there. Comrade Richard Akinola, Debo, Pastor Banji, Comrade Loremi Kombuska, and several others. I salute all of you for your doggedness. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, lots of captives with bandits, kidnappers, terrorists, our children, our sisters, our brothers, from Oyo to Osun, Ekiti, and several other places. I appreciate Professor Femi Obayori for his lucid presentation of issues. So it's either we speak against this terror or we allow it to continue. I also want to applaud what the House of Representatives have done, the state police bill. They deserve this thunderous round of applause. We want to speedily appeal to the Senate to quickly endorse or assent to the bill. After that, we need 24 houses of the State House of Assembly to assent to the bill. And finally, loss of lives and resources. As I round up, I want to salute all our security. We have the army, the police, those who are awake while we are sleeping. I want to salute them. We want to plead with the federal government that better welfare should be given to all of them so that they will help to secure this country better. Education remains very important. Honestly, I was shaking when I saw people sending accounts to bandits for them to credit them, and some people appealing. But I want us to continue to keep hope alive. The tougher the battle, the sweeter the victory. The power in us to win and to conquer is within us. We must find it. Thank you very much. Oodua ni mi o. Talk on. Ẹ ṣé púpọ̀, ẹ jọ̀ọ́ nítorí Ọlọ́run a gbọ́dọ̀ dalẹ̀. Ẹni tó bá ti dalẹ̀, ó máa balẹ̀ lọ. Ẹ ṣé.
Just 2 days ago, somebody sent me a message and he was making allusion to the fact that the upsurge of insecurity is because of election. And I say, please perish that thought. We should not politicize a serious issue as security. And I asked him, I replied him, when Buhari was there no insecurity? When Buhari, the Southwest governors that in spite of what is happening, there is no emergency meeting of Southwest governors where they will call the various security stakeholders, not just police, not just DSS, not just Amotekun, but like groups like OPC and some other security outfits, local non-state actors that can assist the state actors in this challenge. Because when it comes to issues of this nature, they start pussyfooting because of politics. And that's why I don't like the issue of politicizing the issue of security. The Southwest governors need to act fast, because it wasn't like this when late Arakuni Akeredolu was in charge. Written over a year ago, he had written to the Southwest governors on how the OPC can collaborate. And as the General Simo of Yoruba land, I expected them to have even been very interested in meeting with him, but lo and behold, they don't seem to be interested. He said that, they don't seem to be interested, which is quite unfortunate. So whatever may be their intentions, while they will be fine-tuned to confront this menace. And I thank you for this opportunity. God bless OPC and God bless Ibadan.
Thank you very much for that brief remarks and comments. We appreciate you. Mr. Bosca, please. Mr. Razak Oladosun, please, for your comments. Ẹ jẹ́ ká pàtẹ́wọ́ fún wọn jọ̀ọ́.
Bàbá jẹ́ n ṣoríire. Jẹ́ n ṣoríire.
Oodua ni mí. Oodua ni mí. Well, tèmi ò ní pọ̀. Ṣùgbọ́n àgbàrá òjò lóhùn àwọn tó jẹ́ pé àwọn ò kájùlù ọmọ nílùú wọn lòun fẹ́ jẹ pọ̀nmọ́. Ńgbà tí ẹ polówó fún wa, iná ti gbéwèé léyìn lọ́wọ́. Kẹ́ ẹ lọ ṣe kinní, kẹ́ ẹ lọ ṣe kinní. Èyí tó dùn mí jù wọ́n tiẹ̀ lọ báwọn èèyàn mi ń kàbà. Tán kó jó wọn kó lù, èmi mo pè wọ́n pé ẹ wá, ẹnu náà fẹ́ fi wú géètì yìí o. Ìjọ́ kẹta làwọn aláàwí lọ káwọn mọ́lé ló lọ ṣe. Ṣùgbọ́n èyí tó yẹ káwa ṣe lọ́rọ̀ ń bẹ̀, òun ni pé èmi lè fi dá yín lójú pé kò sí ìlú abúlé tí OPC ò sí nílẹ̀ Kóòtù Òjìrè. Kò sí. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ibi tó dùn wọ́n nìyẹn. Èyí tó kù ń bẹ̀ ni wípé àdá tá a gbé sí pálọ̀ tí ò ṣiṣẹ́ kò í ṣàdá o. Irinṣẹ́ lásán ni. Èmi máa rọ ààrẹ, màá dẹ̀ rọ gbogbo olùdarí. Táàrẹ̀ yọ wọ́n lẹ́nu, ìtìjú náà fi kárùn náà fi dá Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn lẹ̀. Àwọn tó fọwọ́ sí kán ṣe àmọ̀, àwọn gbàjẹ́ ń sinmi Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn àmọ̀ wọn tó jẹ́ pé wàhálà wọn pọ̀ jù ẹ ṣàdálẹ̀ fún wọn. Ṣé bó ṣe yẹ kó rí lórí? Bẹ́ẹ̀ ẹ jẹ́ n tún sọ fún yín o, àgbàrá òjò lóhùn ò nílé wó o. Ẹ̀yin onílé ni kẹ́ ẹ mọ́ gbà fún o. Ẹ jẹ́ ká sowọ́ pọ̀, ká rọ̀dí pẹ̀lú ààrẹ wa. Ká mọ́ ṣe bẹ̀sẹ̀ nu. Ibi tán bá tún ti gbẹ́nu wọn láti wú géètì. Ẹ̀yin náà ẹ sọ fún gbogbo ìlú pé géètì lélẹ́yìn fẹ́ wú o. Agbọ̀nrín.
Ẹ má ṣe fọ̀rọ̀ ẹgbẹ́ ṣàwàdà. Ọ̀rọ̀ ẹgbẹ́ o. Ẹ má ṣe ọ̀rọ̀ ẹgbẹ́ o. Ẹ má ṣe fọ̀rọ̀ ẹgbẹ́ ṣàwàdà o.
Thank you. Good afternoon, the whole house. I stand on the executive protocol because I was given 3 minutes. First, the issue of insecurity in Nigeria, it has turned to business from here, and it will be taken to the traditional rulers, and it will be addressed. Who is he looking for? Where is he coming from? It's not like that now, because we have abandoned the culture, the tradition of our people. You see, anybody who say the issue of insecurity is not disturbing him in Nigeria is a lie. what Razak said now, I agree with him. Let us also unite all ourselves. Me, I don't have any home than the Southwest here. I was born here and I grown up here. I don't have any state than Lagos. My family are here. I don't have any place. So please, the conclusion of our day today, in those days, I normally leave Lagos around 6, 7. I will travel to Bida safely, no problem. But today you can't try that. As you are going, your mind will be beaten abnormal because of issue of insecurity. So, Oodua ni mi o. Oodua ni mi o. Because let me tell you, we that come from Middle Belt, especially Tapanimi, that we came from Bida, the far north look at us as Yoruba people. Yes, I can't dispute that. I'm also Yoruba because there's nowhere you can trace Yoruba history. You cannot branch to Takpa, it's a lie. That history will never be completed. So I'm Nupeba tribe, and I'm also an Oodua. So it will be very disturbing if Oodua nation is being disturbed.
We were getting there gradually. Can we please invite Mr. Debo Adeniran for your comments, sir? Ejeba pàtẹ́wọ́ fún ọmọ ṣe ń bọ̀ lókè.
Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò. That is one hero that we eventually become a god in this part of the country. There's no way we're going to talk about the history of the struggle in this country that we are not going to leave a chapter for OPC and in particular Ààrẹ Gani Adams. A lot of people wouldn't have wanted him to remain till today. But as Providence wanted it, he survived all the machinations of his enemies and is continuing security today. And OPC and a few other organizations like that were organizations that sought today since yesterday. They actually prepared for it, but those who didn't want us to succeed with true version of democracy would not allow that dream to manifest yet. But that is a dream that cannot be killed. If you try to kill that dream, you will die before the dream manifests. Yoruba land is not supposed to be a land to be trampled upon by anybody. Some symbols, including Chief MKO Abiola. Abiola committed class suicide. He died for our cause, even while pursuing a cause of members of his own class. But things changed along the line, and those who thought they could use Abiola to feather their own nest were disappointed. So when we started campaign for democracy, even after the elections, we knew what we were doing. So our point, or what we campaigned for, is that the name, today's date, today's day or whatever, should not be named after democracy, because that is how to immortalize those who murdered sleep, and we will not allow them to sleep. I believe that June 12th, can be renamed MKO Abiola.
Thank you very much, sir. Next, we want to call to the microphone Barrister Shina Loremigon.
OPC, OPC, OPC. Ọ̀rẹ́ wa kan ti débí lẹ́nu. Ó ti ṣojú pẹ́ńpẹ́ńpẹ́ń, ó ti ká ńlẹ̀. Wọ́n lòun ni ọ̀gá Nigeria Railway Corporation. Ibi tóun àti Ìbà Gani Adams ti dì, Ọlọ́run nìkan ló mọ̀. Bó bá gbọ́ láàrin ìṣẹ́jú méjì pé Gani Adams Oodua ó wà níbi kan á débẹ̀. Ọ̀rọ̀ wọn dẹ̀ yé mi torí mo rántí ọdún yẹn àwọn Senate Nàìjíríà lọ wá sí airport hotel. Ó wá ní wọ́n ti sọ fún mi pé ẹ̀yin lẹ mọ̀ bí tí Gani Adams wà. Ẹni tó sọ fún yẹn náà ni kò lọ bá o. Ẹni tí ó jẹ́ ìmọ́lẹ̀ tàwa o ò lè sọ fún wa pé o fẹ́ panú ẹ̀ káwa gbà fún ẹ o pé àwa ò lè sọ bí tí Gani Adams wà bọ́ kó máa wá Ọlọ́run adẹ́jẹ́ orí. So lọ́dọọdún tán bá ti sọ pé rú ìjókòó báyìí báyìí wà èmi máa fẹ́ wá torí tí a bá wojú àwọn tí ọ̀tẹ́mi ń wò yìí àwọn tó wà ń bíbà yìí wọn ò tó 10% tán lè súnmọ́ MKO Abiola ní. Mo wá ní kán má bínú ọ̀rọ̀ democracy use and dump ní wá pé tá a bá ń ṣe use and dump gbogbo mọ́tò tó dáa jù nílé ayé yìí àwa ìlú ẹ̀ ká máa lò. Ipe iná ò ṣẹ́jú mọ́ nílé wa àwa ìlú ẹ̀ ká máa gbádùn ẹ̀. Gbogbo jẹnẹrétọ̀ wa ló ẹ̀ ká ti tà bọ̀tẹ́ wo bí tá a dé wọ́n ní Aso Rock gan náà ní jẹnẹrétọ̀ mọ́ wọ́n ní sólà ní ẹ̀rí bí tá a dé wọ́n ní wọ́n gbé àwọn ọmọ kan ní Ọ̀yọ́ wọ́n gbé àwọn ọmọ kan ní Bọ̀rọ̀nù láti May 15 èmi ò ṣúọ̀ bóyá títí di àná June 11 bóyá ti rá àwọn ọmọ náà àwọn kan dẹ̀ ń gba sálárì kì í ṣe Ọlọ́run kò fún mi lórí ọ̀fẹ́ pé mo mọ bá Gani Adams mi ò lè rántí ọjọ́ mọ́ mi ò lè rántí ọjọ́ bí n délé Ìbà tí n bá bá wọn lè máa jẹun bí n bá débẹ̀ tí n bá sọ ẹ̀kọ́ pé mọ́tò tí ń gbé wá kò sépo nú ẹ̀ ọkàn mi balẹ̀ pé màá rówó epo. Ọ̀rẹ́ wa kan wá wà òun náà ní òun fẹ́ ṣe gbogbo nǹkan tí Ìbà ń ṣe nígbà tó sọ máa sọ̀rọ̀ lánàá ó ní kán jọ kán sọ fún un ibi táwọn schools wà ní Ọ̀yọ́ state kóun lọ́bẹ̀ ṣáwa nídìí orúkọ school ká tó dé school tó bẹ́ ṣe security tí ò mọ school tó wà nítòsí òun ọ̀nà yẹn jìn o mú tí nǹkan máa wí rèé ẹ má jẹ́ kó rẹ̀ wá ẹ má jẹ́ kó sú wa nígbà tí a bẹ̀rẹ̀ campaign for democracy ìkànnà àwọn olórí wa nígbà yẹn àwọn náà ti fi ayé lẹ́ǹsìn olódà ipa ti ya wèrè gbóhùn ò gbọ́ rí àwa tá a níbọn a fẹ́ fi ọwọ́ lásán. So any day anytime tí OPC bá fẹ́ lò èmi use and dump mo wà available o ẹ wá lò mí use and dump thank you.
Bóyá àsìkò ògbó yẹn wọ́n wá sádùúgbò wọ́n aṣọ ọmọ jẹ́ẹ́jẹ́ ẹ̀jẹ̀ kan wọlé tán gbogbo ẹ̀jẹ̀ tán jẹ́ láwọ̀ kẹ́ṣẹ́.
President General Igbo Speaking Community in Lagos on security, Professor Ken Duru. Ẹ bá pàtẹ́wọ́ fún wọn.
Bóyá àsìkò ògbó yẹn wọ́n wá sádùúgbò wọ́n aṣọ ọmọ jẹ́ẹ́jẹ́ ẹ̀jẹ̀ kan wọlé tán. gbogbo ẹ̀jẹ̀ tó ń jẹ́ láwọ̀ kẹ́ṣẹ́.
My greatest appreciation goes to our Generalissimo, the Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò of Yoruba land. He is a man of extraordinary integrity. And the organization he founded and has continued to nurture, the OPC, I sincerely happy called. Congratulations to our lady, Dr. Joe Odumakin. I heard her name and so many others, but I did not hear them calling Iba Gani Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò of Yoruba land. He deserves a sincere award in this country. He has been very prominent in fighting for the democracy. But I wonder why our present government have not cared to give him, to recognize all his doings and prowess to promote democracy in this world. That policy, the policy presently under the approval of the House of Senate, he has been the vanguard promoting this, but here, by God's grace, I believe it will come. I really appreciate all of us, especially as this man is coming near me to inform me that it is time. I really got the message very late yesterday to come for this occasion. The President General of the Igbo-speaking community, Dr. Sunday Ude, I would have come with him, but I couldn't reach him as I got the message very late. Once again, let us keep the fight going on. Our Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò, sincere appreciation.
There is time for music after the vote of thanks. We are celebrating June 12th, so we should be relaxed, please. There is enough time. Today is public holiday. Tomorrow is Saturday. There is no work. Please, to the microphone, Mr. Bright Eziocha. Ààrẹ has informed me that there is plenty to eat and drink. So please relax, please. And there should be no noise.
Him. I also want to give honor to the matter of our time, late MKO Abiola, who paid the ultimate price for the democracy some people are enjoying today. Unfortunately, this is not the democracy MKO Abiola envisaged. Today, our country is being ravaged by insecurity. The bandits are threatening us. When it started in the north, we say it is their problem. Today, the terrorism have crossed from the north to the southwest. There's nothing that has been said today that have not been said in the past. If government have listened and used all those working documents that emanate from these annual lectures, we will not be where we are today. So I will advise the government, if they are looking for a way to stem this insecurity, they should go into the archive of the OPC annual lecture being organized here every year at this excellent hotel. And then the issue of the security will be a thing of the past. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you very much, sir. Please, a round of applause for him. We appreciate you sincerely. And so, what has a beginning must also have an end. But this is not an end, because this is a movement. A movement that was started 26 years ago. We will continue to ask the government for our rights. Please, Nigerians, this is our country. There is nowhere we're running to. Our Onijapa will stay back home and make sure that we get Nigeria right. Oodua ni mi o.
On behalf of the leadership of Oodua People's Congress, led by Iba Gani Abiodun Adams, the 15th Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò of Yoruba land, I wish to extend our profound gratitude for all our distinguished guests that has honored this, our invite today. We also, their fountain of knowledge. I also thank our media personalities and all our distinguished guests and members of Oodua People's Congress. Today is the 26th edition in commemoration of June 12th annulment. I pray that by this time next year, we all gather here in peace. We will not stand a minute silent for any one of us.
Photograph. Thank you. Music.
Ó ti dá mi lójú pé ẹni bínú wa èmi roko síbi